There's a moment in every sensitive person's life when they stop reaching. They stop sending texts that never get answered the way they hoped. They stop replaying conversations, searching for the sentence that would finally make someone understand them. They stop pouring their attention into people who take it without ever noticing it's gone. And something strange happens. The people who fed on that attention suddenly feel it disappear, and they call the person who pulled back cold, distant, changed for the worse. But Carl Jung discovered something that reframes this entire experience. What looks like withdrawal is not withdrawal at all. It's a reclaiming. It's the moment a person stops leaking their life force into the world and starts holding it as their own. Jung spent decades studying what he called psychic energy, the finite reservoir of attention, care, and vitality that each of us carries. And what he observed in his most depleted patients was always the same. They weren't broken, they weren't weak. They were simply pouring their energy outward, constantly, unconsciously, into people and dynamics that gave nothing back. Today I'm going to show you what Jung understood about pulling your energy back, why it feels so disorienting when you do it, and what actually happens on the other side of that decision. Jung noticed that psychic energy behaves like any other energy. It flows, and most people never realize where theirs is flowing. It drains toward the coworker they resent but keep thinking about. It drains toward the parent whose approval they're still quietly chasing. It drains toward the ex they claim to be over but still check on. Every one of those attachments is an open channel, and through each channel, a little of their life quietly pours out. The exhausted person assumes they're tired because of what they do. Jung would tell you they're tired because of where they've left themselves. Their energy isn't inside them. It's scattered across a dozen people who never asked to hold it and would never think to give it back. Pulling your energy back begins with a single realization. You have been financing other people's emotional lives with your own vitality, and you have been calling it love, loyalty, or being a good person. Jung saw through that story. He recognized that the endless outflow isn't generosity, it's a leak, and a leak doesn't make you kind. It makes you empty. Here's what makes this so difficult to see. The people who benefit from your outflow will never point it out. Why would they? They've grown used to warming themselves at your fire. When you stop feeding it, they don't feel your relief. They feel their own cold. And in that cold, they will tell you that you've changed, that you've become selfish, that you're not who you used to be. Jung would say, they're right about one thing. You are not who you used to be. You've simply stopped setting yourself on fire to keep them comfortable. But here's what Jung understood that most people miss. Pulling your energy back is not an act of aggression. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to confront anyone. You don't have to win the final argument or make them understand what they took. In fact, the moment you feel the need to explain your withdrawal, you're still attached. You're still hoping they'll validate your decision to stop giving them what they never valued. Real energy reclamation is silent. It happens on the inside, in the quiet space where you simply stop sending. Think about someone who spent years managing a friendship that only moved in one direction. They initiated every conversation. They remembered every birthday. They showed up for every crisis. And somewhere in the back of their mind, they kept a ledger, believing that one day the effort would be returned. Pulling their energy back doesn't mean sending an angry message. It means letting the silence sit. It means not initiating and watching what the relationship actually is when they stop carrying it alone. Usually the relationship reveals itself, and that revelation is grief, because it means admitting that what they thought was mutual was mostly them. Jung found that this grief is unavoidable, and it's the part people try hardest to skip. They want to pull their energy back without mourning what they're pulling it back from. But you cannot reclaim your vitality from a hope you're still holding. You have to grieve the version of the relationship that only ever lived in your imagination. You have to mourn the person who was never going to meet you. And that grief is quiet, not dramatic. It's the slow ache of realizing how much of yourself you gave to something that was never going to grow. What happens after you pull your energy back is not what most people expect. They brace for loneliness. What they find instead is space. For the first time in years, their attention isn't stretched across other people's lives. It returns to them. And in that return, something remarkable happens. They start to feel their own presence again, their own thoughts get louder, their own desires, long buried under everyone else's needs, begin to surface. Jung called this the reintegration of energy, the vitality that was scattered outward, gathered back into the center of the self. This is where the transformation becomes visible. The person who pulled their energy back stops being reactive. Someone's disappointment no longer moves them to fix it. Someone's silence no longer sends them spiraling. Someone's disapproval no longer functions as a leash. Not because they've grown cold, but because their energy is no longer available to be pulled. It's theirs now. It stays where they put it. And this is what unsettles everyone around them. Systems don't fight to keep people who weren't holding them together. When your withdrawal provokes escalation, the sudden guilt trips, the accusations, the people arriving to talk sense into you, Jung would tell you that intensity is not evidence you did something wrong. It's evidence of how much your energy was carrying. You've simply stopped, and the structure that leaned on you is learning to stand on its own, which it should have done long ago. So watch what happens when you pull your energy back. Watch how the relationships built on your output either rebalance or fall away. Watch how the ones worth keeping rise to meet you, and how the ones that never did simply dissolve. This isn't loss. Jung would call it correction. You were never meant to hold a dozen open channels bleeding you dry. You were meant to hold a few real connections and to keep the rest of your energy for yourself. You're not becoming cold. You're becoming centered. You're not shutting down. You're gathering back what was always yours. You're not abandoning the people you love. You're finally stopping the quiet abandonment of yourself. This is what Jung meant by wholeness. Not needing others to hold your energy for you. Not scattering yourself across every relationship that asks, but standing at the center of your own life, full sovereign and finally home. Pull your energy back and see what happens.